Hey everyone, welcome back to Everyday English Talk. I'm Amna, your host, and I'm so happy to have you here again.
And I'm Sarah. Hi, everyone. It's always great to join you all. Today's episode is one that's really close to our hearts. Never give up on English.
Yes, because so many learners start strong, full of energy and excitement, but then they hit a wall. Maybe they feel stuck or busy or think they're not improving fast enough.
Exactly. We've both been there. I remember when I started learning English, I was so excited for the first few weeks. But later, I started to doubt myself. I thought, maybe English just isn't for me.
Oh, yes, I remember that feeling too. But the truth is, everyone feels like that at some point. The difference between people who succeed and those who give up is consistency.
Right. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to keep going. Every time you practice, you're improving, even if you don't see it right away.
Exactly. You might not notice it, but one day you'll suddenly realize you understood a movie without subtitles, or someone complimented your pronunciation, and you'll think, wow, I have really improved. Yes, people expect to become fluent in a few months, but learning a language takes time and patience.
Absolutely. I always tell my students, fluency is not a destination, it's a journey. And that journey has ups and downs.
That's true. When you were a child, you didn't learn your first language in 3 months either. It took years of listening, repeating, making mistakes, and growing naturally.
Exactly. So if you're listening right now and feeling discouraged, don't worry. You're not behind. You're just learning at your own pace, and that's perfectly fine.
I love that, Sarah, because comparing yourself to others is one of the biggest motivation killers.
Yes, social media shows fluent speakers, but not the hard work behind their fluency. You see the result, not the process.
Exactly. I wish more people showed their practice days, the times they got stuck, forgot words, or spoke with confidence even when they made mistakes.
That's what makes learning real. Not perfection, but progress.
Okay, let's get practical now. What can people do when they feel like giving up?
Good question. I'd say start small again. Go back to the basics, short videos, simple podcasts, or even speaking to yourself in English.
Oh, yes, self-talk is powerful. I do it all the time. I describe what I'm doing, like I'm making tea. Now I'm adding sugar. It sounds silly, but it works.
It does, because your brain starts to think in English instead of translating from your native language.
And that's how real fluency begins, not from memorizing, but from using the language in your daily life.
Exactly. And another tip, don't focus on what you don't know. Celebrate what you do know.
Yes, even if you can only say, I'm learning English, that's something to be proud of. Every sentence you speak is proof that you're trying.
And every word you learn is a small victory. Sometimes we forget how far we've already come.
You know, I keep a progress journal. Every week, I write one thing I improved in. Maybe I learned new vocabulary or understood a podcast better. It reminds me that I'm growing.
That's a great idea, because when you can see your progress, you stay motivated.
Totally. And remember, it's okay to rest, but not to quit.
Yes, taking a break is healthy, but giving up isn't. Even a 10-minute English moment every day keeps your brain active.
All right, Sarah, we've talked about staying consistent and not giving up. Now, let's go deeper. The mindset behind learning English.
Yes, because your mindset can make or break your progress. If you believe English is too hard or that you'll never be fluent, then your brain starts to believe that too.
Exactly. The words you say to yourself matter. If you keep thinking, I can't, your mind closes the door. But if you say, I'm learning, I'm improving, or I'll get there, that door stays open.
I love that. You know, I once had a student who refused to speak English because she thought her accent was terrible. She said, everyone will laugh at me.
I've met students like that too.
So one day, I asked her, do you laugh at people who are learning your language? She said, of course not. And I said, then why do you think people will laugh at you?
That moment changed her mindset.
That's powerful. Fear of judgment holds so many learners back. But here's the truth. People respect courage more than perfection.
Exactly. When you speak English, even with mistakes, you're showing courage. You're communicating across cultures. That's amazing.
And honestly, most native speakers don't care about your mistakes. They care that you're trying.
Yes, and sometimes your accent can even be your strength. It shows your identity and story.
Right. Every accent tells a story. I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm bilingual. That's something to be proud of.
Let's share some real examples of learners who didn't give up.
Sure, I'll start with my friend Noor. She used to work in a small shop and she could only say a few words in English, like thank you and welcome, but she had a dream to work at the airport.
Wow, that's a big dream.
Yes, so every night after work, she watched short English videos, wrote down phrases, and practiced speaking to herself. It wasn't easy. Some days she was tired and wanted to quit, but she kept going.
And did she reach her goal?
Yes, after 2 years, she applied for an airport job and she got it. She called me crying, saying, "I can't believe it. English changed my life."
That's so inspiring. It shows that English isn't just a language, it's a bridge to new opportunities.
Absolutely. What about you, Sarah? Do you have a story?
Yes, actually. My cousin Amina, she always loved English movies but could never understand them. She decided to start with children's shows. Slowly, she improved. Then she began writing short reviews in English on Facebook.
That's a fun way to learn.
Exactly. And now she works as a freelance content writer, all because she built confidence through those little steps.
Wow. I love how these stories show that everyone's journey is unique, but the key is the same: persistence.
Okay, so now that our listeners are motivated, let's talk about how to build habits that last.
Because you are doing something amazing. You're growing step by step, word by word.
And we are so proud of you.
Always. Thank you for listening to Everyday English Talk.
We'll see you next time with more English, more confidence, and more positivity.
And remember, never give up on English and never give up on yourself.